Hello, fifth graders. This is lesson 15-2, and we're talking about more numerical patterns. So this is a lot like yesterday's lesson, and hopefully this will just get easier each day as you continue to practice. So we're going to start with numbers 4, 5, and 6. Number 4, Maria and Henry are each starting a savings account. Maria puts $250 into her account each month. Henry puts $125 into his account each month. How much money will each of them have saved after 6 months? Complete the table to solve. Okay, so Maria is putting $250 in each month, which means after the first month she'll have $250. So now I'm just going to count up by 250. So 250, so I'm thinking 250, okay, plus 200 more would be 450, plus 50 more would take me up to 500, okay? So I don't really want to add it all. You can, but I would rather just solve it in my head, okay? So second month, 500. Third month, add another 250. 600, 700, and then 50. Okay, now add another 250. So 750, 850, 950, and then adding another 50 would get me to 1,000. Okay. Adding another 250 would be 1,250. And now it just kind of follows the pattern. So you see my 250 was already here. So 500 would be next, except for now it's 1,500. Okay. Now Henry puts 125 into his account each month. So he starts with 125. All right, now I'm going to add that. So I have to think of my 25s. So 25, 50, 75, 100. 25, 50, 75, 100. That's how you count by 25s. So if I'm adding another 125, it would be 200, and then another 25 would be 50. Okay. And then I would keep adding. Another 100 would be 300, and then another 25 would be 75. Another 100 would be 400, but then adding that other 75 would take me up to another 100, so that would actually be 500. And if you need to go to the side when you're doing these problems, and if you need to solve them at the side, that's okay. Okay. 500 plus 125 would be 625. And then another 100 would be 700, and another 25 would be 50. Okay. Number 5. What relationship do you notice between the total amount Maria has saved each month and the total amount Henry has saved each month? So I'm actually going to look at month 4 because that's kind of the easiest one. Maria has saved 1,000 and Henry has saved 500. Think about what you know about 1,000 and 500. 500 is half of 1,000, okay? It works for the other ones too. If you look at this one, 250 is half of 500, okay? So Henry has half as much saved as Maria, okay? Or you can say Maria has saved twice as much as Henry. So Maria saves twice as much. Okay. Now finally, number 6. If Maria and Henry continue saving this way for a full year, how much more will Maria have saved than Henry? Okay, for a full year. A full year is 12 months, okay? Right now I only have up to 6 months, okay? So I don't want to keep adding on to my table. That would take a really long time. So I think I'm going to go to the side and I'm going to think, okay, Maria does 250 a month. So if I do that times 12, that'll help me. So I'm going to do 250 a month times 12 months. Okay. 0 times 2 is 0. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. I already used my 2. I have my placeholder. 0 times 1 is 0. 5 times 1 is 5. And 2 times 1 is 2. So when I add those together, 5 plus 5 is 10. 2 plus 1 is 3. Maria would have $3,000 saved. Okay. Now I have to do Henry. Okay. Henry does 125 a month for 12 months. So I'm going to do 125 times 12. Okay. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. 2 times 1 is 2. Use that 2, use that 1. Put my placeholder. 5 times 1 is 5. 2 times 1 is 2. And 1 times 1 is 1. Okay. When I add those up, 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5. And 1 plus 0 is 1. Henry has $1,500 saved. However, the question asks me how much more will Maria have saved than Henry? So when I see how much more, I know I need to subtract. Okay, so if I subtracted 3,000 minus 1,500, I could actually do that, but I also know that Henry has exactly half. So 1,500 plus 1,500 would give me 3,000, which means Maria has saved 1,500 more, would be my answer. Maria has saved $1,500 more than Henry. Okay, we're going to do one more together. All right, number 7. Sheila and Patrick are making a table to compare gallons, quarts, and pints. Use the rule add 4 to complete the column for the number of quarts. Okay, so add 4 would mean I would start with 4. Oh, it took away my pen. It always does that, and I always forget. Okay, so with quarts, I'm going to start with 4, and then I'm going to add 4 each time. 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So I'm just counting by fours. And then it says for the pints, use the rule add 8 to complete the column. So I'm going to start with 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, and 48. So I'm just counting by 8s. You can also see like 1 times 4 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8, 3 times 4 is 12, or 1 times 8 is 8, 2 times 8 is 16, 3 times 8 is 24. Okay, number 8. Patrick has a 12-gallon fish tank at home. How many quarts of water will fill his fish tank? How many pints? So this is a lot like the last question. I could keep extending my table on and get to 12, but that would take a long time. Instead, I could just think of 12 times each one that I start with, 4 and 8. So you might not know these and you might have to solve them over to the side, and that's okay, but a lot of us know our 12s, okay? So if I think quarts is the 4, okay? So to solve the quarts, I would have to do 4 times 12. I know that 4 times 12 is 48. Oh, don't know why that came up. Okay, so it would take 48 quarts to fill his fish tank. Now, pints, we do the same, but just with 8 instead, okay? And then there's 12 gallons, so I would do 12 times 8. 12 times 8 is 96, so that would be 96 pints, okay? Finally, look for relationships. What relationship do you notice between the number of quarts and the number of pints? So here's the number of quarts, and here's the number of pints. So I look at my first line, okay, I have 4, then I have 8. I look at my second line, I have 8, then I have 16. I want you to think first, what are you noticing? Okay, 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 12 times 2 is 24. 16 times 2 is 32. So you do your quarts times 2 to get to your pints. Or you could think of it as the number of quarts is half of the number of pints. Okay, so you're just doubling it to get from quarts to pints each time. So the relationships is there are 2 pints for every quart. Period. Okay, so 2 pints, there's double the amount. 8 is double 4. 16 is double 8. 24 is double 12. Okay? Use these examples to help you on your practice problems today.